All right, welcome to This Is the Place, brought to you by We Own This Town, where we discuss the ever-growing and shrinking bar and restaurant options here in Nashville, Tennessee. My name is Matt, and sitting across from me today is, I almost said Mickey. It is not.
Nope.
It is Michael.
It's me, Michael.
Michael Leeds, how are you doing?
I am well. How are you?
I'm good. It's a nice October day, and looking forward to Halloween soon. I don't know if there's going to be an October surprise of a new restaurant popping up that we are going to be talking about, or any other October surprise.
There's been, I think we've counted on surprises pretty much weekly at this point.
Yeah.
Not in the restaurant scene, but everything else.
Hopefully nothing too shocking, but hopefully next month will be, I don't know, turning a new leaf.
Fingers and toes all crossed.
Yes.
100%.
Yes, but at the moment, all we can do is try to support some restaurants and bars that are trying their damnedest to stay open.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there are some trucking along. There are some that have not, that have fallen, and we'll see how things go. I mean, I saw yesterday how there's increase in cases, so I don't know what that means in terms of if restaurants are going to be able to continue to stay in phase 3, but we will just have to see what happens. I really, really hope that, I don't know, I don't want to get political, but, you know, I just hope things can stay the way at least they are right now.
Yeah,
and not
absolutely agree.
And not regress back to how they were in late spring and summer.
But as we mentioned on the season 2 opener, what we talk about here on this show is places that we feel safe visiting.
Yes.
We want to support everybody, but we also, we're going to be promoting places that are embracing all those rules and keeping us safe and keeping us in a place where, we can maintain.
Right. It's funny. We talked about on the last first episode of the season 2, how we had recorded back in February, I think.
Yep.
And are getting set to put that out, and that didn't happen not only pre-pandemic, but because of the tornado, I think, or I don't remember. Anyway, we did not put that out. But one thing that we did, people talk about, staying safe and things you can do and things you shouldn't do. One thing that seems, unfortunately, that's taken a huge hit is the music business, and specifically the live music business.
Oh, yeah.
Because, it is now a fact, I think, that it is most easily spread through the air.
Right.
So you don't want to be going to a concert and people yelling, and not only the people around you, but the band themselves, I've seen, I don't know, Henry Rollins' concert. I've seen the spittle that comes out of that man's mouth.
Yeah, you don't want that COVID.
Yeah. But, there is a place that we did talk about that was going to be opening. And I'm kind of disappointed that it's not open right now, because it seems like it would be a fantastic opportunity to hear some music. And we were talking about Cotton Eye Joe's.
Cotton Eye Joe's?
Or not, Cross-Eyed Critters, not Cotton Eye Joe's.
Oh.
You remember that? You remember we talked about that?
Yeah. That was already open, and I knew some friends that had gone there. It's on West End.
Yeah,
right?
It's the Graduate Hotel.
Yeah.
And it has animatronic karaoke.
But the animatronics don't have oxygen, so maybe it is safe. Maybe it's like going to Chuck E. Cheese.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, why is that? Because they're currently closed right now. I mean, if you want to go hear some music, why not listen to some animatronic robots sing some
Dolly Parton.
Some Dolly Parton, yeah. Dolly Parton, yeah. One of the robots does look like Dolly Parton playing a Rhodes, which is kind of weird. But
I think what you're suggesting is the first step in how the robots take over. Because we're just going to, get rid of human performers, replace them with robot performers.
Hey, whatever it takes to stop the spread. I want to hear some live music, and I don't want anybody singing right in front of my face. But if there's some robots that are doing an acceptable job, putting out some good hits, making me feel good while I'm socially distant at the location, and I'm getting my groove on a little bit, then I'm just confused of why they are not open right now.
Yeah, it's a great question. We'll have to call them up and find out why they're not.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll open soon.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I hope so as well. I hope that for all the venues. I think they're.
So downtown? Do you know are those honky tonks? Is there live music or is it no?
Oh, I don't think rules apply downtown. I'm fairly certain there's definitely live music happening.
There is they're in their own death bubble.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yes,
right. So where anything goes. I just assumed that they weren't doing live music, but you could go hang out at those bars.
I mean, I don't know for sure because that is a death bubble that I avoid.
Yeah.
But I believe that
they have bands.
Bands are playing.
Really?
I mean, they've got those garage doors open, so there's like airflow, and I think the rationale
What garage doors open?
Like if that Kid Rock's big ass honky tonk,
okay.
like there's huge windows. I mean, you've seen those photos from down there where there is a band playing, and then there's just 100, 200 people without masks. So yeah, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure there's music happening.
Oh God.
What, are you going to go to Roberts without music? Why would anyone go to Roberts?
Yeah, well, I was just thinking tourists were going downtown just to say, hey, I went into this place and we had a drink and the jukebox was on. We danced a little bit, but
you're giving away too much credit to tourists down there.
Am I
giving
my age by saying jukebox?
Yes.
I did just have a birthday.
Yes, definitely. You are showing your age.
Turn off the jukebox.
Yeah. I've got a nickel. I want to hear.
What 45 you got? I want to hear the new George Jones record. Anyway, yeah, that's all I'm saying is like, I would feel totally comfortable listening to some robots sing because I want to get back in a live music setting. That's all.
Episode title right there. For sure. Yeah, I mean, all the venues in town, what's their tagline? First to close, last to open. I mean, that's what the reality of the situation is that it's going to be extremely hard for them. And there's events like the Music City Bandwidth thing that's happening right now. Other venues like the 5 Spot and Dark Matter.
Yeah, I was just about to say the 5 Spot. I mean, they are doing what they can to have.
Yeah, all of them
really
are.
Cool.
All of them are like picking up live streaming and figuring out how to broadcast shows. And it's not the same. It's not at all the same as going to see something in person, but I think if we want to keep those venues around,
which we surely do,
we got to support that sort of stuff.
Right. And if that's what they have to do for the time being, hopefully.
It's just like the restaurants, right? Like I want to go sit down in a restaurant and have a server and, have that general experience, but I can't do that right now comfortably. So I will support them in another way.
Right. I know. I mean, that's the thing is when I do go to some of these places, I go in and I get extremely jittery immediately when I see people just sitting inside the restaurant and just looking around them saying, why are you doing this? But I get it. I mean, I'm glad they are doing it, but I just prefer to, walk straight through and out the back door to where their patio is.
Us personally, that's the way it goes. And I think that's all we can do is worry about ourselves.
Yeah.
And recommend to you, the listener, that you also not do those things.
That's right. That being said, there are a couple new places, or not necessarily new places, but some places that have been around for a little bit that are opening and some new places that are opening. A couple that I want to mention really quick is one is Peninsula, which we talked about, Mickey and I talked about way back on, I don't know, very early episodes. It, I think, was named #1 restaurant in 2018. Perhaps. Just a fantastic restaurant. It is a pretty small restaurant. And they, as far as I know, there's just no room for them to have any sort of outside eating.
Didn't make it?
No, they did. No, they just opened back up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
they
wow.
just opened up.
I thought for sure where you were going with that was
No.
name best restaurant, couldn't find a place for a patio, didn't make it.
Yeah, no.
That's great.
They did. They were able to do some other things while they were closed to keep them afloat, and they just opened back up like a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
and
fantastic.
I think what they're doing is, since it is a small place, they're doing 2 seatings. And at those seatings, I mean, it's very, very few people.
Yeah.
Would have to obviously reserve one of the seatings and a group of 4 people or so. And I mean, I think it's like 10 people total,
Wow,
maybe
yeah.
for both seating. Something. It's pretty small, but it's enough to where they'll be able to
Well, that's
survive.
great.
So
Yeah.
I was really excited to see that they're opening back up, and I wish them the best because it is one of the best restaurants in town.
I have yet to eat there, but I'm excited that I will still have the opportunity.
I don't know if you would eat there just because it is
Pretty meaty.
It is pretty adventurous. I believe Mickey had beef heart when he was there.
Yep.
Definitely some vegetarian options, but yeah, it is more on the adventurous side.
Well, good luck to you, Peninsula.
So yeah, excited to hear about that place. Another place that is new that I just saw the other day is I have not been to yet, but I'm excited about wanting to eat there, is a place called Hawker's Asian Street Fair, which just opened up pretty recently in the old Family Wash.
Not the old
Not the
Family
original
Wash,
Family
but
Wash
the old Family
where
Wash. Yes.
Vinyl and Tap is,
Yeah.
but the last old Family Wash.
You're
place,
talking about
which-
626A Main Street?
Nah, I'm talking about that one.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, Matt, funny story. That's what I had for dinner last night.
Really?
Yeah. And this was, honestly, folks, not a setup.
Wow.
We did not
Yeah.
know this.
No,
So,
no, we did not. I mean, I saw it and I was like, wow, this looks really cool because it looks like it's a lot of different styles of Asian food. And more importantly, the people that run it, they all come from different places in Asia. And it's not, I mean, I think it's a lot of old family recipes.
Yeah.
From what I understand, and there are different locations and different states. It's
Yeah.
not like this is the standalone. I think they're based out of Florida.
Yeah, it's a chain. There's quite a few locations, actually.
Are there? Okay.
Like Georgia, North Carolina, lots in Florida, now
okay.
Nashville.
Oh, I didn't realize. I thought this was like maybe the only.
No, I think it's like the
second or third.
10th one.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But so my understanding is, and you can tell me all about it, but like they have small dishes to share, the large dishes, but the main thing is try to keep the prices low to accommodate anybody.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I mean, that's totally right. That's the setup. A lot of it's, because it's street food, the idea is that the quantities would be pretty small. So, like, it becomes a very shareable thing.
Right. I'm assuming you guys. I'm sorry. Did you say you just got it to go?
Oh, we got it to go.
Because I couldn't remember if there's no patio or anything.
There is a patio.
Okay.
But they are operating at half capacity. One of my negative marks about it, of which there are not many, but they're at half capacity, but it seemed like they have this full, long restaurant to fill. But because they're at half capacity, they're only using half of it. So they're just
It doesn't make any sense.
filling the front half of it. And, I wasn't there for hours. It was just
Right.
there for long enough to pick up the food.
Yeah.
But it definitely felt like,
It's a large space.
yeah, like space these folks out. Like it was
Yeah.
pretty packed going in there, like in that unnerving way that we talked about, where you're like, I would
Yikes.
like to wait outside
Right.
instead of waiting inside
right.
here.
Yeah.
They did a phenomenal job renovating the space. It doesn't look like Family Wash at all.
Okay.
They tore down the bar that was on the right. They built this brand new huge bar on the left side when you come in. It's very reminiscent of the bar at Chopper, if you've seen
yeah.
that. I mean,
Sure.
the bar at Chopper has an enormous tiki robot hanging from the ceiling.
Does not have that.
No one's going to have that. But that's similar sort of like in the round style where like you can sit all around the bar. The decor of the place is very cool. It's a lot of like Asian symbols, like a Japanese character where you're like, it's like a tramp stamp tattoo where you're like, oh, what does this mean? Like
know exactly.
you could be aping this culture in a way that's exploitative,
Right.
or maybe you're from this culture and this is all cool
Okay.
and fine. It's like if a bunch of old white dudes put the decor together.
It might end up looking like a TGI Fridays Asian style where it's just all over the place.
This is definitely this is going to hurt my cool points, but it feels like a background from like Akira or some anime. Like I don't watch a lot of anime, but there's like lots of neon and just
Right.
like it's kind of this dystopian vibe in a way. Like it
okay.
was
Interesting.
definitely neat and cool and unexpected, but it
Yeah.
also like, what if that character over there just says like horse ass or something? Like,
Right.
You have no idea.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they know what they're doing. Hopefully it's all authentically legit.
Yeah. I
sort
don't
of.
want to assume pessimism here.
Right.
Let's just assume that it's all on the legit side. But the food was great. Like at the end of the day, the core review here is how does the food taste? And the food was awesome. Like the quantities were not massive. The prices were extremely affordable. We got like 4 things and it was under $50. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Like for a restaurant that is generally a sit-down restaurant to pay less than $50 for 2 people
nowadays,
to eat.
That's good.
It's really good. So I'll tell you what I had if you want to hear it.
I do.
I had a thing that I can't pronounce called the roti canai, which is Malaysian flatbread.
Okay.
Really interesting texture on this flatbread, a little stiff, but in a really have you ever had like the Ethiopian bread?
That's exactly what I was.
It's very similar to that, but a little lighter.
Okay.
With the signature curry sauce that comes with it, amazing. Okay. So good.
Malaysian. I don't even know if I've ever had Malaysian food.
Well, you can get this flatbread.
Okay.
And be on your way. Really good. And the curry was phenomenal. I mean, I could have just drank it straight. It was so tasty. We got a small dish called the Hawker's Delight, which is really just like a small bowl of broccoli, carrots, cabbage, bell peppers, little mushrooms, and some tofu in a sauce.
I was about to say, is it in a sauce?
It's in a sauce.
Is it just steamed?
No, it was like steamed veggies in like a soy sauce of some sort, very unique to them. Frankly, the tofu was not made well. It was not good. Tofu is very hard to make good. I don't fault them for that. This is a restaurant that, operates in chicken and shrimp and steak.
Right.
And then they're nice enough to also have some tofu offerings. So I don't fault them for it, but they got a little work to do on the tofu. It's not super great. But the rest of the vegetables were fantastic. And then the main dishes we got a pad thai. Because if you're going to go to a place like
you got to try it at least once.
You got to try the staples.
Yeah.
Have you got your fundamentals down?
Can you beat Siam Cafe's pad thai? That's my bar. Because
I don't know. I don't know if they did beat that or not. But they did a really good job. The pad thai was superb. It actually has a little bit of heat and zing on the back end. Which
that's what I like.
I think they did. I just can't express how perfect it was because it wasn't like that hot chicken hot where you're like, well, I'm punishing myself for no discernible reason. This actually isn't fun to eat. It doesn't add anything to it. It's just like this kind of masochistic experience. This was not that. It was just like really tasty flavor profile and then a little heat once you had swallowed. And it's pretty rare to find that.
Well, I was going to say that I think that's one of the big problems with a lot of spicy food is riding that line between just having a really good solid heat that isn't like just burning your tongue for just burning your tongue's sake, and a lot of hot chicken places, they don't know what they're doing because really good hot chicken doesn't necessarily do that because it's the flavor that you taste and then you have the heat afterwards.
Yeah, not been my experience with it. When I was a meat eater and we got hot chicken, it was just like, it was brutal. It was painful.
Right.
And I just was so baffled. Why does anyone do this?
What you're explaining to me, it does sound like that. That's one of the things I liked about Siam Cafe's pad thai. I specifically remember, it's been a long time. I used to live right around the corner from there, and I used to eat there a lot. It's been a long time since I've been there, but that's why I loved it, is because you would have that back-end heat after having the really good elements of the flavor of the pad thai.
Yeah.
And so that's great.
Well, I'm going to recommend that you try out this Hawker's thing.
Definitely will.
And the last thing we got was the yaki udon. I'm a huge fan of udon. I love a big, thick noodle.
Yeah.
And it delivered. What's funny is on their website, it says that it has a chili finish, fire.
Right.
It didn't have the same spice. It didn't have the same spice as the pad thai, which I actually thought was kind of surprising. Like this one's advertised as being spicy, but it was not. And then the one that was like, hey, we got a little zing. It was like, oh, that one, like they should switch those descriptions, but both were like very satisfying.
And sometimes it can just be who's cooking that dish at that particular time.
True.
Because, it all depends on the amount of those types of spice ingredients you put in. That was, again, I keep on going back to Siam Cafe.
You got a favorite, yeah.
But that was what was kind of the wild card about Siam, is because you could order the same thing 2 different times and get the same heat level. Not like Thai hot, but just like medium or whatever.
Yeah.
And it would be 2 different levels, and that was because of
whoever was back there.
And so sometimes you would get it and you'd be like, holy shit, that is hot. I did not mean for it to be that hot, but you dealt with it. And then there are other times this is perfecto.
Yeah.
And other times, it's not that hot.
I mean, I'll definitely go back. There were lots of dishes that I wanted to keep trying. I give them huge props for every dish that had meat in it. When you ordered it online, you could just say no chicken, no shrimp. Like very straightforward to check off the no meat options. And as a vegetarian, that's kind of rare.
Right.
Like you can put in special instructions sometimes, like please don't add chicken, and then you just roll the dice and hope they read it. So
totally.
This is really nice that they had that set up. Tons more dishes to try.
Did you look at? Do they have a bar menu?
They do have a bar menu. Obviously, I didn't try any of the drinks, but they have a whole signature cocktail menu. It looks tasty as well.
They had like certain sake or or not.
Because we were getting it to go, I was just like, well, I'm not going to look at the beverage menu. What am I going to get a drink to go? Which
I don't know why you're standing outside waiting for your food if you just by chance picked up a menu, if they even had one.
No, I can be inside.
Yeah, most of these places nowadays, you're scanning your QR code to get the menu anyway.
Right. You know, the drink menu that's online at eathawkers.com, there's a bunch of stuff here. They do have a whole Japanese whiskey menu. And
I don't know, a lot of these places do offer packages to go, which is great for them. So maybe if I get takeout, I'll see if they can have get something to go.
Give yourself a little bit of time. When I ordered, it gave me about a 65 to 70 minute wait time, which, kind of a while to order online.
So do you feel like you waited that time and you went there and was it ready?
No,
or
it wasn't ready.
It still wasn't ready. Yeah.
Right. Which, I mean, it took exactly the time that they predicted. I give them that. I did go a little early thinking, surely this will not take 65 minutes. It did. It did. It did.
It just depends on the place, because I know we've done Mitchell's before where it says like 45 minutes and I go there 20 minutes later and the food
but I mean that's
is ready. But also on the flip side, I've gone to 5 Points and they said 70 minutes, or oh no, it's not ready yet.
I enjoy it when a restaurant over predicts their time, like, oh, when can I have a seat? It's going to be 35 minutes, sir. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then 15 minutes later you're sat.
Right.
Like they tell you way too much time so that you're satisfied.
Yeah.
I like that, which is what I thought was going to happen here.
Didn't
65
happen.
minutes, like, it's going to be 40. It's going to be 45.
Right.
Nope.
You were wrong.
But that's not, I don't want to sound like that's a pejorative to them. They're busy. That's great.
Sure.
There were people in there waiting for seats. They were busy.
Right. And hopefully they're getting a really good takeout business.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. That's a very minor complaint. They said it would be 65 minutes. It was 65 minutes. I can't really bitch about that,
You can't. at all, actually. They were very accurate, it sounds like.
Yes. And the food was super good. Like driving it from the restaurant on the east side to my house over on the south side, it stayed warm and it was still very tasty. And, I do recommend it.
Great.
Definitely to go.
I can't wait to go, and I'll try something different and report back to see what I think.
Please do.
Yeah. A couple of new places that I've been to. One that we discussed last week.
Speaking of reporting back.
Hearts. I talked about it on the last episode.
The Australian cafe?
Australian/New Zealand, I think, or out of Melbourne. Really good. Right on Gallatin Road, across from the Kroger over there. I don't know how long they've been open, just a couple months, I think.
Yeah.
And it is not a big place inside. You go right in the door, and there's some seating to the left, and and it's these very large tables, and a couple of tables straight ahead, and then
in an ideal world, would it be like communal seating?
It looks like it would be. Yeah, definitely.
This is a lunch spot, right?
It's a lunch. I do think that they are actually open maybe on Fridays a little late because they have a bar.
Oh, okay.
When I say a bar, they have bar options.
Right,
you can have alcohol. So I think on Fridays and maybe Saturdays, I'd have to look that up. I think they are open. When I say late, I think they're open till maybe 8 or 9 o'clock. It's not that they're open real late or
you
anything
should be
like
out
that.
later than 9. Come on, folks.
Jeez.
Go to bed.
Come on. So we went there, and they've set up picnic tables. To call it a patio is a bit of a stretch, but they have a big back grassy area that they
Cool.
took advantage of.
Yeah.
And so there are, 6 or 7 picnic tables, and then on the wall on the far side is a little standalone bar that you can sit at. Although wouldn't recommend it at 1:00 in the afternoon with the sun beating down on me. It was unbearably. We had to sit there at first because we didn't want to. There were open tables inside. We've already talked about how we feel about that.
Yeah.
And all the picnic tables were not open, and so we went around the corner. They brought our food. We were eating for 5 minutes tops, and then the woman prior to that said, I'll keep an eye out on the picnic table for you, and they opened up. So we went and finished up at a picnic table, which was great. So yeah, I talked about a couple of different things.
Yeah, tell me what you tried.
I tried the Anzac biscuit, which is very much a cookie-like biscuit. It is not a Southern biscuit and gravy type of
more of a treat
bread. Definitely more of a treat, and it was really interesting. It was good. It's one of those very much an English cookie in the sense that it's not. It's kind of hard, but it's not stale. You know what I mean?
Scony,
a little scony, but with enough kind of moistness about it that it was very oaty. I will say that.
Odie.
Yeah, like oat. Like an oat.
OT. Okay. I thought you were saying like a Garfield character. I don't get that.
The dog?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Odie,
no,
the
Odie.
dog.
All right. No, I don't know what that means. But it kind of had this
I like Odie.
Oatmeal
Yeah.
touch to it. But I don't, if I was to guess, I would say there's no oatmeal in it.
Interesting.
So it was interesting. It was something that definitely not used to having in terms of this type of bakery item. I'll definitely have it again.
All right.
It was good.
All right.
It was good. The other thing I ate was the other thing I talked about, which was the chicken katsu roll.
Ooh.
And it had the Kewpie mayo that we discussed.
I've been anxiously awaiting the Kewpie mayo review.
And it has a fried chicken and then slaw on it.
Okay.
And on a hoagie. And
a good combo.
the bread was amazing. The chicken was very good. It wasn't overly crispy or anything. But definitely I think the highlight was the combination of the mayo with the slaw.
Okay.
I loved it. It was a little more on the sweet side. And I don't know if that's because of the mayo itself or because of the combination, but it was a really, really good sandwich roll. Very, very tasty, very springy.
Springy?
Yeah, fresh. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm using all these adjectives that are throwing you off. I was not on
No,
picture springs on the bottom of my shoes that I'm
springy and Odie. I got it. Yeah, those are great descriptors.
Yeah, so I had that, and actually, the person that I was with, he had a croissant that was stuffed with sausage in it.
You were there with Mickey, right?
I was there with Mickey.
You can say his name.
I can. I can't remember what we discussed last time, but he is back in town.
He's back in town. Yeah, we said last time we think he'll be back.
Yes,
and now he's back.
And he is back now. That's right.
And he's going to come on the show at some point. And absolutely.
We're going to figure it out and figure out the transition and how we're going to do that.
Yeah.
But he's super busy right now on a new endeavor. So it might be a little while, but he will be back eventually.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Definitely. Yeah. So he had this sausage stuffed croissant.
Ooh.
That was, I will say, a bit meatloafy.
Okay. It's kind of a lot for a lunch, but it does sound good.
It was huge.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he maybe ate half of it. I mean, I had some of it too. A little dry.
Okay.
A little dry. I don't know. It was one of those pastries that, sits on the counter. I don't know how long it's been out.
Got it.
But it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. My roll was much better.
You win.
Yeah. So, but I definitely recommend it. It was a cool place. I say this every time. It's just a bummer that you don't want to eat inside because I really liked the layout of it. And it seemed like it was a cool little place.
Yeah. But you supported it, and I'm going to go support it. I've been wanting to go ever since I saw that sign they put up on Gallatin Road. It looks incredible. So, yeah, it's good to know what I'm walking into, and I'm excited to to try it out. I want some mayonnaise.
I wish I had had some coffee. I really wanted to have. Unfortunately, I had like 3 cups of coffee before I went there at my house, so I just couldn't do it. I knew it'd be bad news if I had another cup, so I can't report on their cappuccino or coffee prowess. But we'll have to go back and.
Well, I'll add that to my list of things to try when I go there.
Yeah, cool. So. Another place that has opened recently, I don't know how long it's been open, maybe a couple months, tops, maybe it opened this summer. I don't know, but it is a place on Dickerson Pike, and
1315 Dickerson Pike.
1315 Dickerson Pike, and it's called Coneheads.
Coneheads.
I love the name.
Yeah,
love it.
I love the concept. It's really an incredible thing. Do you want to tell people what they're working on over there?
Yeah, sure. So one thing I do like about the menu is it's basic. It's very straightforward.
Yep.
You got a waffle cone.
Yep.
You got some chicken.
Yep.
You got some fried cauliflower.
Yep.
You got some shrimp.
Yep.
And you got some sauces. And you got some sides. And you can mix it up pretty much any way you want.
Yeah. It's very true.
You don't have to have the cone.
You go to a place called Coneheads, don't you? Aren't you obligated?
It would be kind of a little funny not to have the cone,
yeah.
But just for whatever reason, if you, I'm thinking if you have some sort of dietary restriction to grains, then you can have that without the cone. But of course, I had the cone.
Yeah.
You get your main meat, which when I'm saying that in quotation marks, because even when I say that, I mean vegetarian as well.
Yeah. Your protein.
Thank you. And then you can put these sides just right on top, or you can have them as a side.
Yeah.
And then you get a couple sauces.
Yeah. I also ate at Coneheads today. You went there.
I did.
So you can tell me about what the experience is like inside.
So I will say it's a small place in the sense.
Is it the one it's like on the
I passed
corner?
it like 3 times.
Is it on a corner?
It's on a corner.
Kind of pushed back?
Yes.
Okay. So it's really close to Dark Matter. It's really close to
I think it's on
Sugar High Bakery. It's on Dickerson.
So it's on, I think, Eastmoreland, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think
and it's off the road a little bit.
Yeah. So say like you pass Douglas going heading north on Dickerson, you pass Douglas, and then there's like this like wood shop thing. I don't know exactly what that is.
I
it looks really cool. But
I know what you're talking about.
And then right next to it, they're doing this construction on this building. I think they're renovating this building.
Mm-hmm.
And then attached to it is Coneheads, but it is set back from the street. So if you don't see it, if you're not really looking for it, if you don't have your Google Maps on, which I did not, because I'll see it.
Yeah.
You will drive by it several times.
Yeah. I went to Google Maps to look at it.
Yeah.
Couldn't find it.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, it took me a minute. I was like browsing around on Street View, and I was like, is that it? That's pushed way back?
Yeah.
And it was.
Yeah. So I can't say that's a complaint. That's just a forewarning.
Yeah.
Is, you really have to, just know exactly where you're going, or you will miss it because in a flash.
Seems like it makes the parking easier, though, having it pushed back a little bit.
I think so, yeah. And the other thing, too, is you want to make sure you know where you're going on Dickerson Pike, because people just drive crazy on that road. I mean, Jesus. Maybe we need to do a Dickerson Pike, run, because I was coming from another direction. I saw some crazy looking restaurants that have probably been around for decades.
Yep. That's a great objective goal for us, is to try out some stuff on Dickerson Road, because I think it is kind of
And when I say crazy restaurant, I just mean like the logo. I'm not trying to imply anything.
Sure. Wow.
But
very defensive, man.
Sorry. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. I do know what you mean. That street has a history of being like, I remember my parents telling me like, oh, that's where you get a prostitute.
Oh my God.
Like it has a reputation, and it's become, it's being gentrified. That area is being gentrified. A lot of that reputation is a bunch of white people who don't understand different cultures mixing, and, just like different environments.
Did that
where all that stems from?
Some of that maybe 15 years ago. Then I lived over there on that side back in 2001, 2, and I remember actually the very first time I accidentally ended up on Dickerson Pike.
Yeah,
and it had been after a long night of inebriation.
Yeah. Okay.
And I didn't know what road I was on.
Yeah.
And I was trying to find my house, and I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, back then, back in the
Sure.
early 2000s, yeah, sure. You would see some prostitutes. Maybe even right now you would, but that doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So you park on the side, and they do have a front patio.
Oh, cool.
Probably, 6, 7 tables. Definitely several tables that you can
Outside?
eat outside.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
outside. So they have the fake grass.
AstroTurf?
AstroTurf. Thank
right.
you. Covering the patio, and you go in, and it's a pretty bare bones right now because I don't think they want you to eat inside. I think
Cool.
I think it says like you have to eat outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there are some tables in there, but it is pretty bare bones. A small place. You just walk right up. Super nice people.
Yeah.
So I had a beer and
Whoa.
yeah. Well, because it's just one of those things. He's like, what? I was so focused on the food, and he's like, what do you want to drink? And I didn't see like bottled water.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure they had it.
Sure.
I just and they had a big selection of different types of non-alcoholic drinks,
Oh.
which I just don't drink very much. I don't like fruit drinks very often.
Uh-huh.
And then they had some alcoholic drinks, and I just
Matt's big day off. Having a beer.
That's right. Yeah. So I had a good lunch beer.
Yeah.
And I got the chicken waffle cone, of course.
Yeah.
With slaw on top.
Mm-hmm.
And
Pineapple slaw.
Pineapple slaw, that's correct. And with white barbecue sauce. And one of the side items, the name of it is Best Damn Grits.
Best damn grits.
I saw it. I said, I got to have some Best Damn Grits.
Yeah, yeah.
I there's no question whether I'm going to try that or not.
They threw down the gauntlet.
They did. Growing up in the South. So you grew up in the South.
I did.
Did you eat grits growing up?
I did.
So did I. There's a fair amount of people from the South that still didn't grow up with grits. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say there's some damn good grits.
All right. Was there anything particularly? Was it the giant pat of butter in it? Was there?
It didn't really taste butter. It was very creamy. So I'm going to
Not very grainy?
bust out not grainy at all.
Okay.
I'm going to bust out some Southern roots here again. Did you ever eat cream of wheat when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Anybody that's not from the South, they're like, what?
Staple in the
It's
house.
staple. The box is, I hope it's different than what it was when I was a kid because it's very questionable.
Yes. Let's hope they have come to their senses.
Yes. But it kind of was like, to me, it was a little bit of, because cream of wheat is similar to grits, but less grainy.
Yep.
So it was a little bit of mix, I felt, of like this cream of wheat grits combo. But I felt like they probably had maybe some sort of cream cheese mix in it, but it was very light.
Wow.
It wasn't, because that's the problem with people that want to try to gussy up their grits, is like they put way too much butter in it, or they put like a lot of like Parmesan cheese, or they try to cover up. If you cook grits right, really, you don't need to have any extra ingredients. Then maybe some salt, maybe just like just a little glob of butter, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was very much that. It was really, really creamy, not gritty at all. And they had some sort of cream something. I don't know what it was exactly, but because it wasn't overbearing at all.
Yeah.
You could taste the grits. Yeah.
Would you would put them in the upper echelon of grits?
Oh yeah. There's so many nice restaurants that one of their entrees is shrimp and grits, and most of them are good. But this one, these are just as good, if not better, than some of the shrimp and grits I've had in the nicer restaurants in this town.
I love to hear it.
So
Love to hear. I did not have the grits. I ordered from Coneheads by Uber Eats.
Yeah.
Which was great that they were available to have it delivered to me here at the office, at the studio. I got the fried cauliflower instead of the chicken, obviously.
Right.
Got it in the cone. I got it with the pineapple slaw as well. I got it with mac and cheese as the side because I can't resist mac and cheese. If it's on a menu, I'm going to get it. And then I got the jam sauce and the rosemary agave.
I wanted to try the rosemary agave.
Very good. Like, it was like honey. It was just
Really?
like honey. It was
wow.
so good. It wasn't honey.
Yeah.
It was lighter than honey, but
Yeah.
it was very similar. Sweet, kind of had a similar consistency. I was a fan. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's chicken and waffles in a waffle cone, which just like kind of brilliant, like easy to carry around. It was actually very easy to eat, and I thought it was going to be just laughably difficult, but it was easy to eat.
I was wondering the same thing, and a couple things. Genius is their table. So they bring out the my side of grits and my cone and like a basket, but the basket had a hole in it.
Brilliant.
The table has 2 holes in it. So you put the basket down and it just slides all the
that's
way through
amazing.
the table.
That's
so you just have
fantastic.
it sitting there
Yeah.
and you can just eat it, put it back. So that's one thing, whether it's tacos or whatever, that sometimes is a pain in the ass is like, all right, I'm going to sit this down. It's going to fall over everywhere.
Yep.
This didn't do that at all.
All right.
You know?
Coneheads.
Yeah.
Coneheads, man. What an insane name for a place.
I love it.
But I love it.
The logo is great too. You know?
That's coneheadscw.com, which I think stands for chicken wings. Which, is that right? Because they have wings there,
guess.
right?
Yeah, they do. I think that's kind of like what the thing is. Like if you don't get it with a waffle, it's not. I think it's the chicken that's just cut up and with the sauces.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, I mean, I didn't talk about the chicken. I thought the chicken was really good. It was lightly battered, not heavy at all.
Same with the cauliflower. Lightly.
Which I really liked a lot, and really just great.
Yeah, I mean, I will also commend them, similar to Hawker's, when ordering online, the cauliflower is not like some hidden menu option. It's not like some shameful, like, oh, you don't want our chicken, you can get it with these veggies.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a main menu item. Get the cone with the cauliflower. Like right up front, every bit as present as the chicken version.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kind of really respect that because a lot of times the vegetarian options are kind of second rate, you know,
right.
and this is not the case
like,
there.
Oh, and here's this for you.
Yeah.
Way down here.
Yeah. Oh, you don't want to eat our meat? Fine. You can have this.
I didn't remember. I don't have it in front of me, but on the menu online, if it had shrimp as an option.
No,
but
it's all chicken.
But they offered shrimp today when he said we got chicken, shrimp, or fried cauliflower. I don't know if that's just an occasional thing or that's just something they haven't put on the menu yet.
Nothing on the website mentions anything about shrimp.
For those folks that don't eat meat but eat fish.
A little pescatarian action out there.
There
You're
you
set
go.
too. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard that word before.
There it is.
I like it.
Yeah, you got it. Words for everything. Yeah, other sides that they had were, they have fries, pineapple coleslaw, mac and cheese, best damn grits, and fried cauliflower. So we kind of covered all that they have,
that's
minus
what I'm saying.
fries.
Their menu, it's very simple.
Yeah.
It's straight ahead. You got these options. You can put them in certain configurations.
Yep.
And that's it. And if you want a beer on the side or if you want some other drink, they got options.
I thought it was really affordable too. I mean, very much
totally.
just like a lunch spot where you feel good about buying it.
Yeah,
you know?
and I got the small with the side, which was, plenty. I mean, the small was...
I did not realize that the difference between the small and large was the cone.
Yeah.
I thought large meant, you're getting a cone and a side. That's what I thought large meant.
Okay. Uh-huh.
You don't need the large. I couldn't even get through the side because I ate the cone and was just like, I'm stuffed.
Yeah.
This is sizable, which is
again
complimentary to them. Like they give you a lot for not very much. I mean, the small is $9 or something.
I think it was $8.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, very, very happy with the experience.
Me too.
I will be going back. I went there in the afternoon, and the front patio is great. I mean, it's cool outside now with the sun.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Wasn't too hot or anything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Lovely. Do recommend.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Or?
I do have something on my list, but I feel like we did it.
Yeah.
I feel like we covered a good amount for this episode, and we got things to look forward to for next episode. I'm gonna try out Hearts. You might try out Hawker's.
Yeah.
And we'll just talk about those two restaurants forever and ever.
I know. We'll
back and forth.
Going back and forth.
Yeah.
Right. I like it. Well, cool. The only other thing I was gonna talk about is, I don't even know if it's open. Is there was a place that was supposed to open this summer called the Optimist, which is a seafood place. I think there was one maybe in Atlanta, but it looks like real deal, like oyster bar, real seafood option.
Interesting.
So I want to maybe try to check that out. I don't know if I'll be able to check it out within the time frame of having it done by the next episode, but we'll have to see. And honestly, like, I couldn't even tell if they were open right now. I think they are, and it's in Germantown on Adams Street,
Okay.
I believe. So I might just swing by there just to see if they're open, but I'm looking forward to that. And, there are, thankfully, some new places that are still opening up. If anybody by chance listens to us that lives in Belmead, the woman that opened Cafe Rosé, she has a new place opening out there.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
man.
We love Cafe Rosé. It's near our house. During the pandemic, ordered out there several times. Always really good. I know that is either opening soon or has opened. I will not go there because there's no reason for me to go there since Cafe Rosé is so close. But for anybody that lives on the west side, I want to plug something other than an east side restaurant.
That sounds amazing. The Cafe Rosé spot over on the west side. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Have you shout out something other than the east side?
Yeah, I think I don't think it'll ever be equal opportunity, unfortunately. But if we can definitely hit some of those places, at least mention them. I think we got to do our due diligence and broadening everywhere.
Yeah. And I mean, I think if you're listening to this and there's somewhere that you want us to try, we'll do it.
I will drive.
Yeah, just hit us up on Instagram. This is The Place, THA, The Place. We'll respond. That's the best place to get in touch with us. We're also on Twitter. Instagram's the place. Instagram's the place.
Well, cool. I think this was a good one.
I do too.
Really.
Yeah.
So remember, eat up, drink up, and if anybody asks, this is the place to be. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.